crazy how the way things are nowadays in life, like really this pandemic that's really hit all of us, how in a second, you know, you might have been financially stable before this pandemic hit, and so much family now are literally like scraping by with this pandemic. Some people didn't even already have with this whole pandemic going on, and now they really don't have, right? And then the ones that had their savings have had to dip into their savings just to make ends meet, because things have gotten like extremely bad, and it's not going to get any easier for a lot of us. The only people I see that are sitting pretty right now is, or you call it the elite squad, the 1% that's been making over $1 million. Those are the ones that are surviving better than we are, because if some of them are able to shut down certain, yes, they're not making as much revenue as before, but if they have over $1 million or so sitting in their account, they are better than majority, more than half the population right now. You know, just to, is sometimes like me and my husband, me and Mario sit and we just watch the news on how this pandemic has affected people's life in so many, whether there are people are losing loved ones, you know, people are just getting sick. The ones that have been recovering, they're still not able to, they're not fully 100 because they still have breathing issues, they have night sweats, they're still having symptoms of COVID, even though, and then there's people that have been tested positive for COVID, recovered, became negative, and became positive again, right? So that is like a whole nother scary thing. And I think with this pandemic, what makes me realize like life is very precious. And I don't know if some of you are new to my vlog, new to my channel, but if you are, welcome. But I've always sat and talked about how crucial it is to, when it comes to like having people in your life and having good people in your life, how crucial it is, because in this time that we're living in, like, life is full of uncertainty, and it's full of uncertainty for everybody, right? Like I said, this pandemic, it doesn't know no race, it doesn't know no religion, it doesn't know anything. And a lot of things, as for people, have been taken away from us, like, you know, like the right just to even be able to go outside like before with the kids them. A lot of things that as human beings we take for granted, now with this pandemic, it's like you're really sitting there. Sorry for the seagull noise in the back. I'm sitting in the parking lot of where I bought my food. How this pandemic has really just changed so much things for people, you know, like even for me and my husband, it has changed so much stuff. Wanting to take a vacation to go home, you know, and then you're thinking about it, okay, to take a vacation to go home now, I might have to quarantine when we get down there. On top of that, even if you take a 1 week vacation or 2 week, you quarantine for 2 weeks almost, come back and possibly having to quarantine for another 2 weeks. So it's almost like a month, pretty much. If you take a 2 week vacation and then you come back and have to quarantine for 2 weeks, because obviously you have to take the proper precaution. You don't, just in case anything happened, you don't want to be liable for you costing somebody's life because you were stupid and didn't decide not to follow the rules and ended up out there, you know, and might have caught something and then come back, and then, you know, and then the fines in Canada for people that has went away and come back, you're supposed to be quarantined, you're not supposed to go back to work, right? Once you even, I guess, leave the country. Once you even leave the country, you're supposed to take 2 weeks and quarantine 14 days. So you're not supposed to go back to work or socialize with anybody. You're pretty much supposed to be in your house if you can by yourself. And I find it's so crazy with the Canadian dollar. It's been the highest since the pandemic. Could you believe that? It's been almost, not close enough to the US, but not fully. Because the US dollar, I don't know, it's always the high. I don't understand why the Canadian dollar is lower than the US and we're neighbors. It's supposed to be the same. And to live in Canada costs way more than the US. Because a house that somebody would pay, like a $400,000 house in the States, comparing to here, is nothing. You get like a tiny 2-3 story house for that price, right? And in the States you can get like a 4, maybe 5 bedroom, you know, big. The square footage, it makes such a difference. So I never understand why the Canadian dollar is lower than the US and the cost of living here is higher. Because for those that don't know, I think the minimum wage in the States is $11. I'm not sure, 11 or 10. I know before it was like $7.50. So I think in some place, but I'm not sure. But anybody from the States, quote me on that. What is the minimum wage in the States right now? The minimum wage in Toronto is $14 an hour. I'm not sure if it's gone up. It's been a long time since I've worked minimum wage. So I'm not sure if it's gone up. I know they were trying to get it to 15, which that didn't end up happening. Alright, so, but the cost of living here is so much higher than the cost of living in the States. But I got to say, Canada is beautiful. The only problem I have is the bloody cold. It's the cold is like the main problem. It's one of the biggest problems. Well, I guess the high pricing of living too, but I guess it pays because considering in a sense our healthcare is kind of free to a certain extent. When you have a health card, you can kind of walk in. If you have like a broken leg or something, you can walk in with your health card and you could end up having surgery same day. As in the States, when that happens, you still get your surgery, but you have to end up paying, right? There's certain things that we're covered for healthcare as the States is not. So one thing I definitely have to give Canada their props on that, with the healthcare coverage, definitely. But as I'm saying, get back to the with the pandemic, I've never, even homes, you have so much people right now, they're selling their homes. They can't afford to stay in their homes, so they might as well sell it and downgrade. Some of them are downgrading to apartments or a smaller home. Other people have to be moving back within their parents. And a lot of this is going to be happening. You're going to see a lot of people moving in with their parents because the economy has definitely changed from basically this thing hit like March full blowing, because I think March 13th was the last day of my school, the last day I had the actual physical in-class schooling, because when I was doing my placement, that was actually the last day that we had placement. They pulled us from the hospital because of the pandemic got so bad, right? So, and you have, you know, when people think that now that we're back into phase 3 and it's opened up, we figured that things has cleared up, but I don't think it fully has, because we haven't even hit the second wave yet. And then when you look at the States too, they're getting hit with tornadoes. You have forest fires that's been going on, that's burning down like half of California right now. They're saying that it looks like hell on earth. But really and truly, there is so much stuff going on, like biblically, right now going on in the world, for those that like do believe in the Bible and have read the scriptures. And when they talked about, like, you know, certain things must happen for, you know, so it's like just seeing all of this going on, it really makes you sit and think and really want to reevaluate your life and know what are the important things to you in life, you know. Like me and my husband, we sit and we reason all the time. That's one thing we love as a couple, just doing. Sit and able to reason, you know, about life, talk about what's going on, even find ways that we can improve as people ourselves and change things and to make things better for our kids. So these are the things like I said that we think about, and I was like, man, I would love to be home right now to even just work on our house, because in a sense it's almost like COVID is a blessing and a curse. And the reason why I say it's a blessing on a curse, it's a blessing that it slows people down, because we live in the eastern, so we live in a rat race world right now. As in the island, it's a little bit more laid back, relaxed, but like where we live, Canada, the US, like England, these first world countries as they call it, it's like a rat race. You literally just live, you're living to work to pay bills. That is what life seems like, you know. And in these parts of these neck of the woods, it's all materialistic things, you know. I find a lot of people are so like materialistic, like they talk about like the jobs that they have, you know, the cars that they drive, the big old houses that they have. But when you look into it right now, none of that matters, right? None of that matters right now, because at the end of the day, like everybody's life pretty much became on a halt because of this pandemic. And the only thing that really mattered when you look at it was your health and how healthy you are. But even with the person being the most healthiest, they're still getting sick from this pandemic, this virus that is going around that nobody knows the answer to. Nobody knows how it came about. There's a lot of speculation, and it's just crazy, and it really makes you think about life and think about what's really important. For me, what's always been important is me spending time with my family. So that's why I said the pandemic is a blessing and a curse, because I get the time to spend more time with my kids because they're growing up so fast. I get more time, not as much time as I would love to spend with my husband, because he's still working through this whole bloody pandemic. He's been working through it, and his hours haven't been cut because of the pandemic based on the work that he's been doing. It was cut a little bit, but not that much. So in that sense, we definitely have to be grateful for that. But like the curse of the pandemic, it just puts everybody's life on a hold, because things that we had planned, trips, different events, things that we had planned, like even for the summer, is gone, right? They always have a saying where I hear the old Jamaicans saying is, you a plan and God a wipe out. But me always say, no sir, it's never God the wipe out. We a plan, but the devil a wipe out. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what is happening. We a plan because we have our plans, we set our goals and say, okay, by December you want to do this, or by like the summer you wanted to do this, or by like October, September you want to have this, I want to have this much money in your account and this much saved. But with everything going on, it's so hard, and the prices of food has raised, if you look at it. So the prices of food has raised. You have, you know, landlord willing to evict so much people, and like a lot of people don't have no consideration in this pandemic. But you also got to understand, I guess, too, from their point of view, that they need to make their money to pay their bills as well. So that you could also understand. And then, you know, just with the economy, I just feel like we are heading into a recession, and we are gonna, I don't even feel like it, I know we're gonna head, this is just gonna be the modern day recession we're heading into. There's so much people right now, like the food bank, they're using the food bank more than they ever were using it before. So it's definitely you know, and it's so crazy. So it's just, I just find that now you have to really think when you have money and you're deciding to go out and spend, what are important things. For me, the most important things is the essentials that my family needs to have, right? A roof over their head, clothes on their back even though they're not really going anywhere anyways, and just the essentials of making sure they have food, because that is like the main essential and proper food to survive and just being in good health right now. Those are the main things. All the other plans and stuff that we have, it's just almost, it's on halt because we don't know how long this thing is going to last. And then if you haven't heard, there is another stream that's out there that is supposedly more deadlier than this first stream that's out there. So yeah, I just wanted to come by and just have a little mukbang sit down talk with you guys. I know, even though I didn't even fully eat off my food, but I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. I'm gonna finish eat and then I am going to head home. Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Stay blessed, guys.
First, I know this is really love, cause baby, me feel the love. Me need more than a single. Is it too soon to say I love you? This girl I do. I know those words are few, but I'll show you, cause everybody needs somebody.